I'm back, you all. That's who I listen to. Now I'm rushing again. And that's why I figured I'm just going to start early because if I wait, then I'm going to be rushed. And I want to speak my piece again. Oh, and I know some people are going to be like, why do you have to speak your piece? Why? You know, I'm really angry. More at my husband, really. Where can I put you all? Right here. More at my husband. How do husbands piss you off when they're not even here? How is that a thing? But it's true. It happens. And it happens quite a lot. Some husbands just make very bad financial decisions, if you will. I don't think this has anything. I'm going to throw that. And as a wife, you try to advise your financial advisor as well as the bookkeeper. And they just don't listen. They don't listen. But anyway, that's going to be a problem that's going to continue, be ongoing. There is no solution for it because anywhere that he sees any extra cash, he's got to spend it. He's got to fill that void with another expense. So I don't win in this situation. And I'm trying to be excited about tomorrow. Tomorrow, let me put this water back in the fridge. And I need to fill up the fridge again with waters. We try to fill it, like right here. We try to fill that up with waters. There's only that many waters in there. And I have to go in there to get them all out and put them in here because my son won't do it. I'm the only one that does it. And even when the husband's home, I'm getting a napkin. This is a napkin for my nose. And I gotta throw this away too for the litter. I'll be back, Mama. Look, she's in her new box. She's in a new USPS box. Yeah, she gave you all a wink. That means she loves you. Yeah, she knows she's beautiful. Okay, I'll be back. Crickets. Yes. But my bank account sounds like crickets. I'm sure everybody heard me yelling earlier, though. They're like, oh, she must be fighting with her husband again. Yep. And he's not even here. Let's open the dungeon of trash. Is that side open? Yeah. Yay. Oh, there's the moon. Pretty moon. I'll finish saying what I'm saying when I get in the car because I don't know who's out here. It's so quiet. I'm sure my neighbor hears me yelling. They're all like, Moon, you don't really yell, do you? Oh, yes, I do. Okay, so my church, I was talking about church earlier. Damn it, I'm gonna need gas again tomorrow. It's already at half a tank. I don't know how. I don't go anywhere. So as you can tell, I'm heated. What was I saying? Church. Yeah, I did a video earlier about church, right? Well, my church is doing this 3 days of nights, is what they call it, TFC nights. You already know where I go to church. And I didn't see yesterday's. I don't think I got notification from yesterday or the day before, but I got one today. And that doesn't necessarily mean they don't send out the notifications. It could be that they didn't put it live because of their technical difficulties, or it could also mean that I get too many other notifications, just like from the one that I was watching right now, the Angry Man. Sometimes I don't get his notification. I didn't get his notification yesterday until an hour later. I saw that he was live, and I was like, he's live? And then I saw like how long he had been live already, and it was an hour had already passed. And I'm like, what? Why am I barely getting notified? An hour later, you know? But anyway, so I caught one today, the last one of the nights, of the 3 nights, right? And I could have gone. And it was the pastor's daughter who gave the service, which I have high respect for. But just because I have high respect for her doesn't mean that I agree. Hang on, you all. That I agree with everything. Just like I don't always agree with everything the pastor says. And it's okay not to agree. That doesn't put you in hell. It doesn't mean that you're not a true Christian because you don't agree with what they're saying at the moment. Okay? I just want to make that clear. You can still have the highest respect for them, but it doesn't mean you have to agree with them. Just like they don't have to agree with me. Just like nobody has to agree with me. But, I mean, you do have to respect that I have an opinion, right? Just like I respect that you all have yours opinions. And the gas is $2.93. Great. It was in the 240s forever. And anyhow, so I'm trying to think about how to say it. So my church has a heart out for the youth. And there's nothing wrong with that. But they really make it, what's the word I'm looking for? Like they really put it up there as a main point of the church. The church is called the Family Church. And I was talking about that, right? It is a family church where we're all considered a family. It doesn't mean individual families. It doesn't mean like, oh, only families are welcomed here. Everybody is welcomed. Whether you're married, single, widowed, separated, a teenager, a young adult, an infant, everybody's welcomed. However, for the past year or so, give or take, they have really been emphasizing the youth, how important they are, how they're the next generation, and how yada, yada, yada. You know, I get it. I get it. And yes, they are. But how should I say this? What about my children? My children, one of them is a millennial. I can't ever say that damn word. Millennial. And this child here that I'm picking up is Gen Z. He's considered Gen Z. Now, they weren't even talking about Gen Z. They were talking about Gen Alphas, I believe, and some other Gen. I don't think she mentioned Gen Z. If she did, I'm sorry. I didn't catch on to that. But what really got to me was how she was saying that the young generation should be able to come to the Gen Xers and the boomers. Instead, we're full of pride. And I was like, what? What is she talking about? We're full of pride. What? And then she mentioned the other generation, and she said they were full of something. Well, what did she say? Pride and like just go figure it out on your own. They weren't really like interested in helping out the youth. And amazingly, I don't know how this happened, but there was a lot of youth in the front, sitting in the front. And then I guess they had everybody like at the very front where they usually do the altar calls, which they haven't really had, mind you. But they were all there. And then she told them to go ahead and have a seat, to go back to your seats. So I guess I missed the part where they called all of them up and they prayed for them and then they sent them back to their seats, right? And she was like really passionately up there and practically yelling at everybody that we need to help the youth. They are the next ones in line, the next generation. And they have these ideas and they have questions and they want to change the world. And I'm like, wait a minute, excuse me, wait a minute, I have a question myself. Who told the youth that we did not want to help them? I'm a Gen Xer. I haven't been approached by any youth. And if I had been, I wouldn't tell them, go figure it out, or I don't want to help you. I have too much pride. I'm a Gen Xer. Yes, we were raised differently, but doesn't mean that that's our way of life. If we don't want to be defined by our zodiac sign, what makes you think we want to be defined by our generation? I know sometimes I come up here and I'll be like, "Ooh, I'm a Gen Xer. Ooh, I like the '80s. That's my time. Yada yada." But I don't want to be defined as a Gen Xer and your perception of me when you didn't live my life. We all had different lives. We all had different walks in our lives. Aren't we always talking about that as Christians? How we all have different walks? Your walk and my walk were not the same. We got to the same place where we want God, where Jesus is our Lord and Savior. However, we did not walk the same path to get there. You might have had it rougher, or I might have had it rougher, or we both might have had it rough. But we don't know that about each other. But back to the youth. I would like to know personally who told them and what youth was it that they told, go figure it out on your own. We don't want to help you. Because if anybody at church, anybody in the congregation said something like that to one of the youths, then we need to have a meeting in our church with the entire congregation and get to the bottom of it. We need to allow the congregation, anyone, to raise their hand and ask a question. And we deserve an answer. If you're going to stand up there and judge us as a whole, and say that we're doing this, we're not doing that, we need to start doing this, then we deserve to ask questions ourselves, and we deserve the answers. And I don't care who it is that's up there. I don't care if it's the pastor or the daughter or the son-in-law or the friend or the family friend or the neighbor. I don't care who it is. If you're going to stand up there and yell at the congregation and demand that they start doing something for the youth, let us know who is not doing it. Who's not doing what? And let us get to the bottom of it. Have that youth or youths. I sound like that guy from My Cousin Vinny. The two youths. The two what? The two youths. The two youths. Yeah, the two youths. I'm trying to make light of the situation so I don't get more pissed. Have those youths get up there on stage and say, yes, we went up to these certain people in the congregation. You don't even have to name them. Just say, yeah, it was in the I don't know, child care department, and they turned us away. We had questions and they turned us away. They turned us away. Now I can't even talk. And or it was the greeters. We went with them with a question and they turned us away too. And we had questions and they turned us away. They told us to figure it out. Let us know which area of the church is telling the youths, figure it out. We don't want to help you. And it doesn't matter what generation they are, by the way. If they are being ugly to somebody else at church, then they need to be addressed. And I'm saying this because even though this is church, we're your congregation, you're in charge. Yes, we get it. But there's a way to address something and there's a way not to. And no disrespect, but you just can't go up there and start throwing blame here and there when it hasn't even happened or it never happened. I had to press that little X on the corner when it started to go that route. I was disgusted. Church is about everyone. Everyone should be emphasized. I have never heard of a church in all my life say this church is only about this. This is our only main focus, and this is what we're going to talk about all the time. And if you don't like it, there are the doors in the back. But that is my vision. No, 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 no. At church, it should be everyone's vision. Everyone should be on board. And you know what? We are. We are on board. We will stand with you in prayer for your vision. However, once again, Don't forget about the congregation in front of you. If you have a passion for only a certain calling, then maybe have services for that certain calling on a different day and go to town. But when it is a church as a whole called the family church, and I emphasize the family, it should be about everyone entirely. No exceptions. It's not so much that I'm upset about it, it's that I'm disappointed that this is something that's ongoing. If we're not talking about the new megachurch, we're talking about the youth. But it's never anything in between. It's never about the congregation that's been attending every Sunday. The adults, no matter what generation they come from. Just like the youth is showing up for the TFC nights, so are the adults. Our life is not over just because we're adults. We still have to continue living. Why do we have to step aside and be like, oh no, it's all about the youth? Yeah, I'm just coming to church for the youth. How can I help you, youth? What do you need help with, youth? We should help each other. And I don't like how this is going on at my church. It feels like you're separating us. I don't like that feeling. This isn't what I signed up for. And I know there have been many times when the pastor will get up there and he'd be like, if you all didn't sign up for this, there's the door. Really? Is it really that easy, sir? Like, just to leave? You're just going to kick us out after all these years? I've been going to this church for 23 years. I got born again at this church. Are you going to kick me out too? Because I believe that we are all a family. We're all connected spiritually. We all want the same things. And I don't believe that we should be talked to in this manner or accused of something or be separated. I've been separated from my family all my life, Pastor. All my life. I came from a different father, and my mom kept me away from my brothers and my sister. I was only allowed near them when she said so. But it was always about them. Always them and then me. This is what you have going to your church. You have people with real lives. You have adults that have a past, that are trying to be healed, that are trying to get better. And that is exactly what I was talking about earlier in the other video. How we go to church because we want healing. But to be told to step aside is wrong. Step aside or there's the door. Those are our two options. I hope nobody else felt like that tonight. Because imagine you had a hard day at work, you look forward to the TFC nights, and you're there, and this is the way you're getting talked to. Like you don't matter. Your generation's already passed. You're old. You're a boomer. You're a Gen Xer. No. What's important is the next generation. No, we're all important until the day that we're gone. And then we become even more important. But no, no one should ever feel that way. And I'm really disappointed over the message that I heard today. And I get very disappointed when I see anyone pick out scriptures to go with their message. That's very one-sided. And I'm actually contemplating of maybe it's time to go somewhere else, like all the others have. There's a lot of people that I started going to church with 23 years ago, and little by little, they have all left. And that's including some of the staff that end up leaving. And I had pretty much an idea as to why. I'm not going to claim to know because I do not know all. However, you know, I would like to go to church and actually sit there and enjoy the message without all these other distractions that are going on, and then being told, oh, it's all about this. It's not even mentioning about, it's all about serving others. It's all about helping others. It's all about God. It's about Jesus, Holy Spirit. It's about us being a family, being there for each other, helping each other out. You see somebody that's alone, talk to them, introduce yourselves, make them feel welcomed. We want everyone to feel welcomed. Instead, you're going to stand up there and be like, oh, it's all about the youth and only the youth, and the rest of you all, you already had your lives. Too bad, so sad. We don't care about you anymore, basically. You know, that's all that needs to be left to be said. We don't care about you. They haven't said it that like that though. But to be putting labels, oh, the Gen Z and the the Gen Xers and the Boomers, they have pride. They're full of pride, and this other group is full of non-caring. They don't care at all. No, no. I don't know, you all. Like, I really enjoy the praise and worship at my church. That's what keeps me there more than the message sometimes. And I'm pretty sure sometimes they get up there and they want to do a certain message, but I think somebody's telling them, make sure you add this. And that's wrong too, because that pastor is getting a word from God and you're telling them, make sure you add this and make sure you bring this up. Anyhow, thank you all for listening. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. Sometimes I do have problems with how I want to express myself and what I want to say. I try to take my time with it, but I never can because I'm always in a rush. Every day is a hustle for me, having to go here and there. And so the time that I do have, to listen to a message and it's really disappointing. And I'm all about bringing people to the kingdom. That's it. And if that's wrong, oh well, then I guess I do belong in another church then. But at the end of the day, everybody's the same to me. Everybody's a human being. You don't have a label with me. Actually, no, you do. You're God's child. You are the daughter or the son of the Most High. So I love you all. Love, hugs, and kisses. And prayers. Bye.